Field, Colorado Governor Jared Polis joins us right now. Governor, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, and good morning.
I was thinking of you, Governor. The home run, hitting contest is going to be something to behold in Colorado with the thinner air. And also, having said that, the notion that this was something that Georgia should have expected, and the MLB should have been, warning ahead of time that this was going to happen. They did. It's a done deal. It's now the game is going to be in Colorado. But some are afraid that MLB is sending the wrong signal. What do you think?
Look, when in Colorado, we see opportunity and we seize it. And as you said, this is going to be an epic home run derby July 12th, a mile above sea level. We have the dry air, balls carry further. We got a great stadium at Coors Field, and we're just ready and excited to showcase all the talent in the American and National League coming to Denver for July 12th and 13th.
I guess you last hosted an all-star game back in 1998, so really you have a generation of fans who weren't even around at that time. This could mean $100 million to Colorado. Your thoughts on how you take advantage of this?
Well, it just comes at a great time. I happen to be a huge baseball fan, love the Rockies, and we didn't have pro ball growing up in Colorado, so I used to be a Padres fan before that. We had a semi-pro team, the Zephyrs here in Colorado, and the part of the Brewers farm system. But we're just ready for this, like so many people are. We were actually preparing a bid to host the All-Star Game in 2024. I think that was a likely trajectory we were on. But when this opportunity came, it couldn't come at a better time because people will be fully vaccinated by then, ready to go. We have great summer weather in Colorado, and we're excited to showcase baseball's talent.
I'm Governor, you're the beneficiary of this. I'm sure you're not, splitting hairs on this, but even the Democratic Georgia senators who took a look at this action on the part of Major League Baseball worried that it's going to boomerang and on the very people in the state who probably need the help the most. What do you think of that and the argument that this went too far? Because the maskers,
I don't envy Major League Baseball.
They're not moving things.
Yeah, Major League Baseball, made this call. I think it was better they made a decisive call than they anguished over this for weeks and only amplified that you're never going to satisfy everybody. But I can tell you, Colorado fans are happy, and I can tell you baseball fans across the country are going to see a great product that we produce here in Colorado and showcase all the talent.
Do you think the president might have, added to the agita over this, Governor, by calling the Georgia voting law Jim Crow, saying that it's racist, and that almost encouraging businesses to do what many have, to boycott or reconsider their associations with the state of Georgia?
Well, look, this can't have been an easy decision for Major League Baseball. I think they absolutely did the right thing by moving decisively rather than publicly wrangling over this for weeks. It would have only made it worse. They had to move quickly to get the logistics in place for July 13th game. Look, I mean, there's no right answer in this. They have a lot of people they want to satisfy: sponsors, players. If there's no players, there's no game. Fans, and all I can tell you is it's going to be a great All-Star game, and we're more than ready here in Colorado, and we're excited. I certainly sympathize with people that are going to lose out on the business in Georgia, but all that business that they're losing out on there, we're gonna get here. So it's over $100 million of economic contributions to the Colorado economy, and maybe moved it up a few years, and we're ready to go.
The irony was, and you've heard this before, Governor, that Colorado's voting law is very, very similar to this new one in Georgia, in that, you have no excuse absentee voting. You both have absentee ballot verification. Your case is signature matching, early voting period, all voting polling centers that must be open for 15 days, very similar to what the new law is in Georgia. So what if they were to turn around and people were to scrutinize your law? And of course, you have all mail-in voting, so there is a distinction there.
Yeah, well,
I worry that this can be capricious.
Yeah, I appreciate you emphasizing that second point. Colorado has what we call the default is mail-in ballots. So I think we had 96, 97% of people vote by mail. It means you get it in your home 3 weeks before the election. It's good you get it in your home because we have a pretty complicated ballot. We have initiatives people have to vote on. They have to research them. I mean, major policy decisions that affect things. And then if for some reason you didn't get it, or you don't want to vote by mail, or you moved to the state late and didn't get it, we have that 3 or 4% of folks that register and can either vote early or can vote on election day. They can even register on election day. But we have no lines on election day because very few people vote on election day. Essentially, we're a default mail state, and about 96% of the people here vote that way.
Governor, at what capacity is Coors Field now, and what capacity do you expect it to be at by the time of the All-Star game?
They're among the parks. I think with the exception of Texas, they have the most capacity of any stadium. They're at about half capacity, which for our normal Rockies home games, frankly, Neil, that's we're happy if we sell out, half capacity on a normal home game. So our capacity is over 50,000, and I think we're at 21,000 or something like that. By July, it should be full. With the timeline of the administration of the vaccine, everybody who wants it will be able to get it by mid to late May. That means immunity, mid to late June. So there's a couple-week buffer there. We're glad to have that, but it should be no problem to be back at full capacity.
You've been very diligent at trying to, not loosen things too quickly. You've warned of a fourth wave of the virus in your state. I guess you've seen, a lot of the new cases that have developed are some of these variants. So how would you characterize the virus right now in Colorado?
So we're pretty much following the national trend. There's been an increase the last couple weeks, not as pronounced as Michigan, but it is certainly at a lower rate than it was the last peak. But there's something different about this. And Neil, for anybody out there who's saying, "Oh, do I get the vaccine or not?" What's amazing is to literally watch the efficacy of this vaccine in real time. We see the rate among people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s going down, 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 down. And it's unfortunately going up in the 18 to 50-year-olds, and that's who we're focused on vaccinating now. But it's just remarkable to see the decreasing cases of people in their 60s and 70s, where it has the highest fatality rate that we're seeing with this wave.
But you still have, I think you recommended a mask mandate stay in effect. Was it through the summer, Governor? Can you update us?
Yeah, it depends on the area of our state. We have, mask utilization in sort of intimate settings across our state, meaning if you're getting a haircut or massage or that sort of thing. But in terms of outdoor, there's very few outdoor mask requirements in our state. And then when you're with groups of 10 or more people that are not vaccinated, you need to wear a mask. And what we're telling people is use your common sense. If you've been vaccinated, you absolutely can go back fully vaccinated, which means 15 days after the second dose or the first dose in the case of Johnson & Johnson. You can absolutely ease up and go back to a lot more of your normal activities. If you haven't been vaccinated yet, it's still very prevalent. This virus is very, very prevalent. Wear a mask, be careful, no matter where you live in the country. Avoid social gatherings, wear a mask, be careful, and get vaccinated as soon as you can, and then you can ease up.
Got it. All right, Governor Jared Polis, thank you very much. The governor of the beautiful state of Colorado. Again, that home run derby in that state, that's going to be wild. Regardless of your politics or point of view on this subject, it's just going to be wild.